Okay, so let's start the ancestral healing work today. It's our fourth session on Sarve, Bhavantu, Sukhinah. I want you all to write the names, numbers of 5 numbers you write. Every number will denote the position of the ancestor. Every number will denote that particular ancestor. You don't know these ancestors, okay? So write 5 numbers. Maybe an ancestor 1014, far back. An ancestor 34, more recent. An ancestor 114. So write 5 numbers. Spontaneously, whatever is coming to you, write.
I got 5 million.
Write it. Write it. Whatever you have got, write. 5 million can also be an ancestor that is lived, God knows when, right? You don't know. We don't. Do you know how many lifetimes you have lived? No. So similarly, you don't know. You just know your father, grandfather, that's it, great-grandfather. Nothing else you know. Just 3 generations. Yeah, okay, Pratisha, write single digit. Doesn't matter. If you're thinking of single digit, write single digit. So wait, it can be any number of digits. Suppose you are thinking of an ancestor who is 514th. Mani, you are here and 514th ancestor. Anyone, right? 5 digits, that's all. Na kuch sochne ki zarurat nahi. Now, you've written the numbers. Now you remember the numbers, what you've written? No. So now you can cut the chits. Single chits cut because you have to remember the numbers. They're not single digit, Rahul. We're talking of ancestors. Single digit will be 1, 2, money first, 1 generation, 2 generation, 3 generation, 4 generation, till 9th generation. But I'm talking about if we have to heal dosha, maybe it is coming from God knows where, right? So that is why I'm asking you to write 5 digits. I said 5 digit doesn't mean single digit. Now cut karo, chittiyan cut karo. Now people will keep joining, then it's going to be. Now we won't take any more of it. Now I want you to take those chits, stand up, put those chits in certain positions, either in a line, that's the best thing to do. एक लाइन में उन चिट्ठियों को रखो. So obviously if the number is 32, then 32 will come first. Then 144 will come. Then 307 will come that way. We're going to put it like that in the ascending order. Less to more. Can you please stand now once you have put the chits on the floor? Or remember the number? Yeah, so Vandana is putting them. So you also put it like that. Now, first, you are not going to stand on any of these spaces. You're going to make a place for yourself, either behind the chits or in front of the chits. Yes, put the chits on the floor, Richard. Yes, put the chits on the floor. in a order. The number that is less first, then the second, then the third, in a line. Now what I want you to do is, I want you to circle these chits. Circle means walk in a circular manner around the chits. Walk in a circular manner around the chits. Walk in a circular manner around the chits. Keep walking around. Clockwise is okay, and anything. Naturally, be spontaneous, like I said. Whatever comes to you, please walk. Okay. So you make 5 chits with numbers written on it. You have lived thousands of lives. So with numbers written on every chit. So suppose you're talking about a ancestor who was number 34. Write 34. An ancestor 204. Write 200. Whatever numbers are coming to you, write 5 numbers. 5, not single digit. 5 numbers. It can be even 1004. Because dosha comes, we don't know from where the dosha has arrived. Okay. The one who's asking me, Sammy or whatever it is, we don't know from where the dosha has arrived. So please make chits and place them on the floor and circle, go around the chits. Now, as you're walking around, notice which particular number is as if calling you to stand on it. Which particular number is calling you to stand on it? Take your time. Which particular number
Can you please repeat that?
which particular number is calling you to stand in that position? Out of the 5 that you have placed, which particular number or place is where you feel you should go and stand? And if you have understood that particular position, please go there and stand and close your eyes.
Ma'am, should we stand on that chit?
Yeah, next to that chit or on that chit, whatever it is. Stand in that position.
Okay.
So you have selected the number?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. And you're going to stand there now.
Okay.
So this is the ancestor that we're speaking about. Yeah. So Shagun, if you're attracted to 2 numbers, just at this moment for the exercise, choose 1. For this exercise, choose 1 and stand on it or near it. Now you know the number. Each one of you knows the number. And now you are going to drop this body that you have today. And you're going to just spontaneously allow this number, this particular numbered ancestor, to as if become you. Allow this particular numbered ancestor to as if become you. As if you are this particular ancestor. Let the ancestor become you, who has lived in a particular era, a particular civilization, behaved in a particular manner, done some things that not proud of. I notice spontaneously the thoughts coming to you as you have moved in the resonating field, this universal resonating field of consciousness, the field of oneness. The field where you are that ancestor who is troubled or did trouble others, and in some way has influenced the family then and today. Take your time.
Ma'am, can you repeat that last one?
See what is happening. What is it that you have done or others have done to you? Maybe you are affecting the people in your family, or the dosha has affected you. You are responsible for the creation of this dosha. And only you can release yourself and others from it. Take responsibility. Now feel what is happening. If there are any images, thoughts, ideas, memories coming to you, let them come. Accept them. Just accept it. If there is heaviness, palpitations, pain, let it come. Standing in this position far back in time, look at how the next generations have been affected. Look forward and see how the next generations have been affected. All because you were unable to take responsibility for your action. Now I want you to shed a few tears for all the harm and hurt that the generations felt. Take any thought. Rupali, Deepika, take any thought that's coming to you. And if not, shed a few tears. Feel bad. Feel upset. For you had no idea that this would go on and on. Remember, tears can wash away any sin. And tears that are shed out of pure love can remove all dosha. Feel upset, it's okay, shed a few tears. Remember, when you take responsibility is the time when you become free. Now feel these tears are nothing but pure water, jal, Ganga jal. ये आंसू आंसू नहीं है, गंगा जल है, प्योर. आपको पता है गंगा जल छिड़कते हैं, wash away all sin. Feel these tears as Ganga jal. Feel your heart opening. Yes, it's okay to feel guilty. Feel that guilt completely. Cry for yourself. Cry for yourself. That how foolish you were. How stupid you were. How you never saw it coming. How it would affect not only you, but when you are born again and again and again. It's going to only affect you. Feel guilty, feel regretful, feel sad. Cry for yourself. Shed a few tears for yourself. Once you feel empty, all the pain that you have inflicted on others and yourself, collect all those chits now. Put them all together. And tomorrow, if you want, it's night in India, it's day somewhere else, you can just put it in the ground, in the earth tomorrow. Bury it in the earth tomorrow. Maybe in a little pot, put a plant there and let it grow. With the tears of guilt and regret, sadness, it's all over. Out of great love, let it get planted. And now this plant that's going to grow is going to be healthy, without any dosha. So let's just chant Om for all our ancestors. And for the fact that we have been an ancestor, we need to heal ourselves, right? Let's chant Om together, everybody. So, Om. So I suggest that we can sit in silence now for 5-7 minutes. Just recall and remember everybody whom you know and everybody that you don't know in your family trees. And just pray to the Lord that may there be peace in my family and all over the world. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Paschantu, Ma Paschittu Bhava. That's peace, peace, peace in this world. Let's silently meditate. Okay, friends, so we can just do some calming. Put our palms to our eyes, in your eyes. And thank the Lord. You can have one or two sharings if you want to hear experiences. So,
I had the 38,000 year. It was about, it's the theme in my life. It's about abandonment. And it was abandoning literally earth, my family, my partner, my children, and how that theme of abandonment has trickled down through the generations and even in this lifetime.
so it's coming from God knows where.
It was really surprising because I was not expecting anything. You don't expect anything at 38,000 years. And yeah, it's really.
Thank you for sharing, Pratisha.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I got a revelation and so true. This is so true. So five numbers. I was confused between two and three, but I wrote three. And by chance, how I arranged it, the third number was on second place. And so the reason why, like through all these 8 days, there's a disconnect between my father and I. It is because of my grandfather tried really hard before he went away to reconcile us together. Now the third generation is the father of my grandfather.
Correct.
And when I was really small, we used to sit in our balcony and he used to tell me stories of his childhood and things like that. And I used to sit near his feet, like on the ground, and he used to sit on a chair, like, and looking at outside. So I would just kind of listen to whatever he was sharing. I had forgotten about this memory, and this memory came so strongly to me that he was adopted. He always talked about his father, who was very tall, he was fair, and they were childless, and they came from a very well-to-do family. And my grandfather was adopted. He never, of course, I was a small child. I never asked about anything, but he told me that his name was Sudarshan. So basically he said he has a very good connection with Krishna Bhagwan because he had two mothers. मैंने कहा कैसे आपके दो मम्मी कैसे हैं? तो कृष्णा की जैसे दो मम्मी थे वैसे मेरे देवकी और यशोदा माँ थे, और मैं दोनों से बहुत अच्छे से कनेक्टेड था. And I don't know the reason why he was given away, but I have no memory or no understanding of why his father abandoned him. But because of that, he got a very good life. And later in life, after several years, they got a son. But he was always given the darja of the firstborn and always loved, always given the best of education, and like he was always introduced with a lot of pride कि ये मेरा बड़ा बेटा है, ये मेरा lucky बेटा है, मेरा ये वो. So he was a very very nice person, like and matlab, very forgiving of everybody. And then when we were meditating, I've written all this. My pain is what? Abandonment. Okay, like my fear, my biggest fear, like we were doing that also. It was like poverty. So, and in that meditation, you were like, when you embody that person, what could have gone wrong? So the word came up to me, laziness. So because of his laziness, he could not, accumulate wealth or whatever. He probably thought that he cannot support a family or something like that. So the next two generations, my grandfather and my father, they were very insecure and fearful. So very uncertain of a future, like of a impending doom, wala, that feeling would always pass on to the other, to their children. And ऐसे नहीं करोगे तो पीछे रह जाओगे, बाकियों को देखो सब आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. That mentality, not secure in what you have achieved yourself at all. And that was what I was carrying and have been carrying, and it has been, like, and I felt now where it has come from. That laziness has led to, like, so my God, I'm just shaking. It's amazing. Like, it's now coming back. Now, like, even though I have no understanding or I can't picture that person, but I have gone to that house where my grandfather, like where my father grew up before they sold that house and stuff like that. And my great grandfather was also in that house in the village. So directly I went on to that house where there was, just chakki peeste the and all those things were there in that house. So that was my first memory. And my God, I am just shaking. It's amazing. And I said a Ho'oponopo prayer for them, please, like, I prayed it a couple of times for my ancestors to forgive them.
So Pratusha,
And
my dear, you are that ancestor.
yes, ma'am.
That is why you are feeling this. If you are not that person, can you feel it? No, you can't. That is why you're carrying this. See, I cannot carry somebody else's baggage. Please understand. Will you carry somebody else's baggage? No.
No.
You are carrying your own baggage. That is why we say prarabdha is your prarabdha. You can't carry somebody else's prarabdha. So even as an ancestor, we are only that ancestor. It's not somebody else. If I am suffering, then I am that ancestor who created hell, either for myself or for others. And so I am carrying that. सबकी कुंडली में पितृदोष नहीं होता.
No.
तो जिसकी कुंडली में है, वो इसीलिए है because that is the person, that ancestor is there living inside you. So you are suffering. Unless, please understand, unless you take responsibility for your own actions, nothing can happen better in your life. Problem is that we are unable. So we say, oh, my great grandfather, uska koi hoga koi. नहीं, आप ही है भैया वो. कोई और नहीं है. You are only the person. So when you understand this spiritual science like this, trust me, everything can be cured. This is only the phenomena what we were talking in the workshop of epigenetics. I cured my glaucoma only because I experienced myself as my grandfather's sister, who was thrown out of the house by the nephew. And she was blind at the age of some 80 something, okay? She was not blind before, but later on she got blind, okay? And she was thrown out. She was told to go away from the bungalow where they were living to another of their bungalow only, but not stay here. So she was thrown out, obviously, and she walked out, and I experienced that. I don't know this. I experience as if I am walking away from that bungalow where the nephews are, whom I have raised, because their mother passed away in childbirth. And I was a widow. That Bua was a widow, child widow, who was brought by a brother to live with them. And because the mother was not there, she raised these children from the age of 13 till she died at the age of 80. And towards the end, she was not able to see properly. And one of the my own kaka, mere bade kaka jo the, he told her, get out. And she walked away from this bungalow to the other bungalow, बीच में ऐसे पुराने जमाने में होता था ना, जैसे एक पत्थरों से बना हुआ रास्ता है ना. So she walked and she said, what you have done to me, you will suffer the same. That is me. I was that Bua. Okay? And I said this. So I cursed them, right? Yeah. And the same Kakaji who had thrown the Bua out went blind at a young age and was blind for 55 years. Okay? So when I got glaucoma, I was diagnosed with glaucoma. I was wondering, why do I have it? Because I was telling you all that only the male members have glaucoma. So then when I did this work on myself, and I realized who I was, and obviously it was my curse that drove all these people, okay, getting blind, right? And now I have been given the power to heal myself and heal all my generations of the future not to have this condition. So I have taken upon myself to cleanse myself, right? For what I did. So I'm only that ancestor, no? I've only done something that I should have not done. And so I've been told, okay, you have glaucoma, which disappeared, right? After the healing, I don't have glaucoma any longer. So when you start to work upon yourself as an ancestor, causing problems to others, then only you take responsibility, and then only your future generations can do. आप chant करते रहो, keep chanting, keep doing puja path, nothing will happen. Trust me. कर्म कांड करने से इंसान को मुक्ति नहीं मिल सकती. स्वामी जी भी यही कहते हैं. करते रहो कर्म कांड, जितना करना है, पूजा पाठ, ये वो दान, ये. You cannot free yourself from what wrong you have done, because you are doing that for others. No, you are not counting yourself in this whole exercise. You are doing it for others. Oh, all my पितरों को शांति दो. अरे भाई, पहले तू तो अपने आप के ऊपर काम कर, है ना? तुम्हारी वजह से ये सब हुआ है, by the way. Correct. So it's very important. This has been my learning over the years, that unless you take responsibility for actions that you have performed in the past, then only your life can be better. आप संन्यास की तरफ तभी जा सकते हैं, उससे पहले आप नहीं जा सकते. So these are the truths which nobody will tell you, by the way. Nobody speaks the truth, right? It's all covered and cloaked, and all that is done for whatever reasons. But this is not the way to work with your soul. Yes, Twinkle, my dear. You are the ancestors. Yes. Yes, okay. Neha, many hands are raised. Quickly, I'm going to answer, okay? Then we are going to call it a day.
Well, I just to share what I had seen in the today fear. Fear me. So I was a man. I was stuck in some ice, like something like my house were made up of ice, and though we were starving, I never moved out of that place. Entire family died starving. And when I did this ancestral healing, I saw I was a parrot, 801, 801 was my number. I was a parrot who was caged, and then I gave up the desire to fly again, and it got connected. I was not able to understand why.
Beautiful. Yes, it got connected to your fear past life.
Yes, because that was the conditioning which I did not leave that place. Yeah.
Excellent. What an insight. Wonderful insight for all of us also. Wow. So you were a parrot, didn't move. Then you become a human, you didn't move.
Yes.
And that's the dosha also. Because of you, everybody else died.
Yes. And now also I have this fear of like going out of boundary. Some fear I experience.
Right. Excellent. Wonderful insight. Wonderful insight. Yeah. Neeru? Sorry, Neeru, I've been not asking you, but now you please speak.
No. Because, when I raise my hand and then the I get the answers, but my stomach is completely churned. So first, in the fair, I saw as if I was like a Labrador, like a dog. I was like a dog with many puppies.
How cute.
And then some puppies I'm attached to, and they're taken away. And I have this fear that I won't have that that connection. And I have the same kind of fear as if somebody's, with the kids. So that was one thing. And then for the this Pitta dosha, I picked a number. It was, I think 76, yes. And at my present life, I don't think I can even hurt a fly. I saw myself as such a, wicked person, that very mean person who, those, I shouldn't say that, I'm a mother-in-law myself, those mean mother-in-laws who won't let the relationship grow, and,
Lalita Pawar.
I don't...
Lalita Pawar types.
Worse and all. Also, it was, you know, when you said that cry your heart out, I really did, because I couldn't believe, my God, how mean. But it was it was not it was a male actually, not a lady,
Mm.
a male ancestor I saw, and mean in all the directions, whatever you can think of. Not letting any relationship prosper, you know, doing these Hindi serials they have these days, that kind of people, you know. So that was quite a revelation. So I mean, I'll really pray that God forgives me for whatever I've done.
You have already forgiven. You are already forgiven. You have cried.
Yeah, I did. I
Shed
cried my heart out.
tears.
I'm still actually, my heart has churned.
Yeah.
So
Good. Very good. You do excellent. Excellent.
so
Wonderful.
thank you so much, Ma. It has been a great opportunity. I have to get off, and so Jai Sai Ram, and I'll connect with you, of course.
Jai Sai Ram.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Rahul.
Namaste, ma'am. I was wanted to ask you that, like in your what you had experienced. So was it the forgiveness, like you were not able to forgive? Is that the reason why you cursed?
Yeah, because obviously, you know, I was, and interestingly, that the Buaji died within 3 days of her being thrown out of the house.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
So
So I.
those 3 days, she must have held so much of anger, no,
Mhm.
towards that nephew, that particular nephew, because he's the one who did it.
Okay, ma'am. But all what I could experience was, because it's difficult for me to, you know, like put myself like that in as in somebody else.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was like that same kind of like very deep kind of a sorrow kind of a thing, you know, a sadness. You know, so I don't know, could it be again that, you know, say the ancestor could not have maybe probably forgiven, and that's why it's sadness, because there's just a sadness, a very deep sadness in me which I carry. I know it.
Yes, yes, yes. So, beta, you will have to do the exercise on your own. I'm sure you can do it. You know, the number that you picked up, whatever number you picked up, remember that number, and then make a circle with chalk ke saath ek circle bana do, and stand in that circle. Do it like maybe over a week. Every day as a ritual, stand in that circle and see how that ancestor starts coming through you.
Okay.
Because you need insight.
Okay.
Without insight, nothing can happen. So do that exercise. Rahul, you can do it. I know that. Let the sadness come, because it's already come. Okay? And through that sadness, I need you to cry.
Okay, ma'am.
And I know Rahul can cry easily. So cry. Let the tears flow, Rahul. See, if I hold the sadness, no, it will become solid. And that solid sadness is heaviness.
Okay, ma'am. And because I do feel heavy, and I know that it's there.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it's become much better, but it's still there.
Yeah. So I need you to shed it through tears.
Okay, ma'am.
Oh, thank you, Rahul, for sharing. Yes, better. Urvi and Shagun, then we. Urvi.
Right. So, very interesting revelation in both the things. First, like, you know, when you asked us to pinpoint your fear, my fear is very strange. My fear is, I feel that, you know, what if somebody takes away my basic rights of freedom to be, you know, just freedom to, I mean, no restrictions of any kind, which is, you know, just to speak and to be, to wear whatever, which of course with your mindfulness, but, you know, just this kind of things. So it's just an imaginative thing that I feel it will come on me. And I just fear that. And because of that, I also feel that I'm not able to speak out. I mean, I just fear that, and I just don't voice out my things, fearing that something like that might happen. Very strange. So I wrote it down, and then when we took us, I saw myself as a lion. And
can you see so many of you are seeing yourself as animals? Very interesting. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I was in a forest of South Africa, and I was in a very beautiful forest, and I was being taken in the cage by this British people, and I was put in zoo. So I just felt so much torturous that, you know, I did not want to live there, but what could I do? I was so helpless. I had to live my life there in that zoo. And that kind of, my freedom was taken away. I cried like anything. Like, I just felt that so badly that how could that be taken away from me? I just wanted to be in the forest. So I really, really, really felt. So even when you asked us to move out, I still feel I still have that pain in me that my freedom is taken away. Now, since very beginning of my life, I have always loved lions. I have no clue why I feel drawn towards lion. And also, one of the theme of my life is power and courage. And I have always felt that, I have this feeling that I've been raised in in ships, with ships and as a lion, and I have forgotten how to go back to the forest. And I'm sabotaging because even as that life, I just had to sabotage my happiness because what could I do? So I felt all the more bad and torturous that even though I want to go back, I just don't have courage to go back. I'm just sabotaging myself. So this has been my feeling all throughout my life that I'm not my full potential. Even though I experience it, I just sabotage it. I don't do it.
So Urvi beta, dosha को इंग्लिश में क्या कहेंगे? दोषा को इंग्लिश में क्या कहेंगे?
Dosh is what, curse or?
Dosh is not curse.
Dosh is mistake, fault.
Dosha means some impurities that you are carrying, some fault-finding behavior, like you are just saying. Some impurities in your mind, which is creating problems for you. So in your case, what is the impurity you're carrying? As if that I cannot break away from this cage. Right? And so in your current lifetime also, in your initial years, there was a cage. So you carry that fault. Carry it across lifetimes. But then problem with human beings, they blame others. Actually, it's my own problem. I'm not able to get over this fault in me. The moment I get over the fault in me, everything will change. No? Excellent, Urvi. Very good, beta. Very nice. Shagun?
In this, this family constellation, I saw myself again that as a Lalita Pawar misusing my power. So this theme of power, where, and this was the exact thing that I thought about myself, that how could I be like a Lalita Pawar, when you came. So it was like I was
so we have one more
someone.
Lalita.
It was an extramarital affair, extramarital.
Very nice.
Yes, I was an extramarital affair of someone. And I just made everybody's life miserable. I just took away everybody's happiness and I just controlled the entire family. Everybody had to suffer because of me. But I had cried as lion so that I couldn't really cry. So I
Lalita Pawar कैसे रोएगी?
do it again.
Lalita Pawar नहीं रो सकती, वो दूसरों को
I
रुला
know, but
सकती
no,
है.
I felt it.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
I did feel it, but
Excellent.
But I'll do it
Excellent.
again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bacha. Shagun, good to see you.
Hi, ma'am. How are you? Good to see you too.
Well,
Ma'am, so my experience was the moment you said na that you make the check. So the number that I was attracted to, two numbers I said. So one was 90 and the other one was 526. And but when you said that you make a choice, so I stood near 90 number. And the moment I stood near this number, I felt like an army man. I was standing like this, complete like taking charge of everything, and I have to be in disciplined manner in that way. And energy was so I would say full of ego, and it was full of disciplined focus that I have to, like I was standing like this, this, and it was very attentive, and as if I can't see, I can't even move my neck like here and there, and I have to be focused, I have to, meet the expectation, and I have to take charge of everything, I have to like tell others what to do, what not to do, perform. So everything I have to dictate, so that way. And since my childhood, I think I'm living the very similar life, that I don't like to cry in front of others. I like to hide myself. Like I never cried in front of, not even, in front of my mom. So after marriage and after coming to all this thing, obviously I've changed a lot, but yeah, this was my personality earlier. Now, one thing I think, what I feel, that I'm very focused. I don't like to waste time. And the same feeling I had, that time also, that life should not be wasted. Even a minute, you have to be focused, you have to be working, you have to be learning something or the other, and all these things are waste of time if it is not learning, if it is not, taking you towards the goal of life. This is how my thought process works. So and when you said that how this particular thing is, has affected the other ancestors, so my thought was, I was completely detached. I was and when you said that shed the tears, I had no shame, no guilt, no tear. I was just standing like this, and though I was able to see the numbers that I, placed there on the floors, but there was no attachment with them. Only one word I, got that time was ego, and I had to become little soft at that time. I don't know why, but the moment I thought about ego, I could see my mom, and I could see, like, the present mom. I could see, few members. I don't know who चेहरे ऐसे शायद मैं नहीं जानती हूँ, but I could see few, and the connection was that I maybe have to become little soft, so that because in my life, I think all the members are really soft, only like leaving me. So I'm the one who always have to dictate them, ये करो वो करो, इतने टाइम पे पहुंच जाओ, ऐसे करो, टाइम से मीट नहीं हो रहा, कोई लेट है, कोई कुछ है, कोई लेजी है. So I have to make people work around me. I have all, I would not say lazy, but yeah. So I'm making them also disciplined. I don't know how and why. So
not discipline, Shagun, discipline, to control कर रही है सब.
Control, हाँ.
Discipline नहीं कर रही है, तो control कर रही है सब.
हाँ, so वो energy को मैं वही मैंने देखा, that I maybe वो affect ऐसे किया, that all the people, all the ancestors have suffered, कि वो बेचारे lazy थे, and I have to just उनको भगा दिया घोड़े की तरह. This is the energy I felt. और मैं अभी भी जब बैठी, जब आपने बोला 5 minutes rest करो, I couldn't rest. I was so restless. मेरे को था कि मैं अभी भी कुछ काम कर लूं. And I was like, ये क्या हो रहा है मुझे? I am supposed to meditate. Then when I wrote this, and I was like, okay, now I can sit. That okay, I've done my work. And then I think now I'm feeling soft. The softer part of me, I can now feel. That time I was not able to feel. The moment you said ना कि अब papers उठा के रख लो and all, so I just hold it in my hand. But yeah, the very first moment when I stood near the chit, I wanted to hold the chit and hug. और उसके बाद मैं एकदम ऐसे हो गई.
Shagun, I know you, and I know how soft-hearted you are. But the problem is that you have created this persona. तू ऐसी है नहीं, तू बहुत सॉफ्ट है, okay? But तूने अपने आसपास एक ऐसा persona create किया है for whatever reason. तो अब इस persona को हटाना है. You have to be who you are. Soft, gentle, sweet Shagun. मतलब वैसी है तू, है ना? But तू वो दिखा नहीं रही है. Problem ये है, तू दिखा कुछ और रही है कुछ और, है ना? ऐसा मत करना. Be authentic, be real. Whatever you are, be that. Don't worry, nobody will take advantage of you now.
Yeah.
है ना? तो ये जो तेरे दिमाग में कहीं पे ये बैठा हुआ है, nobody is going to take advantage of you. Nobody is going to say nasty things to you. Nobody is going to abandon you. Nobody is going to, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा अभी, Shagun.
Right, ma'am. Yes, I know. All thanks to you. I love you, ma'am. I love you from the core of my heart. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.